A normal person gets a fever and goes back to sleep, but I just see a massive financial crisis. My immune system decided to crash today, which is hilarious because my landlord doesn't accept coughing as a valid payment. Being your own boss sounds cool until you realize no one is paying you to shiver under a cheap blanket. So here we are, sitting in the mobile office, calculating. If this headache is worth risking a car crash for. I swallowed some expired medicine I found in the glove box, hoping it keeps me conscious long enough to make rent. The screen lights up with my first offer of the day, and it's almost as insulting as my physical health. I swear this algorithm knows when you're vulnerable, sending you the worst possible routes, just to test your absolute limits. You know what's funny about Form 1099 NEC? It basically means you are legally isolated from any form of human empathy. Every time I sneeze, I feel a sharp pain in my chest, and a sharper pain in my empty bank account. I am literally paying for the privilege of being miserable today, burning expensive gas, just to perform this exhausting routine. Don't forget the self-employment tax, that glorious 3% they take, just to let you suffer independently. Honestly, paying taxes as a gig worker feels like a mandatory subscription fee for a service that constantly ruins your life. I'm driving 20 miles for $7, slowly realizing that my car's depreciation is out-earning me at this exact moment. The IRS says I can deduct 67 cents a mile, which is cute, but it absolutely doesn't buy new tires. You drive, you cough, you deliver lukewarm fries to a guy who definitely isn't gonna leave a decent tip. It is a strange feeling to know that your vehicle is technically worth more than your current physical well-being. I just had a coughing fit so bad, I almost swerved into a mailbox. But hey, the delivery is safe. Gross income looks like you're surviving, but net income after gas, taxes, and wear proves you are basically volunteering here. The smell of cheap fast food is permanently embedded in these seats, mixing terribly with the scent of cheap medicine. I look at my total earnings for the last 3 hours, and it's barely enough to cover a basic combo meal. Some people talk about taking a sick day to recover, a concept that feels as completely fictional as unicorns to me. If I stop driving right now, the electricity bill doesn't stop. The car insurance doesn't stop. The cruel world spins. A trip to the emergency room could easily cost 3 years of my entire delivery income, so I avoid doctors. My healthcare plan is essentially drinking a lot of tap water and aggressively hoping that my physical body just fixes itself. I pull up to an expensive pharmacy just to drop off a prescription for someone else, feeling the heavy, bitter irony. They say health is wealth, which makes perfect sense because right now, I am completely broke in both of those departments. Every pothole I hit sends a massive shockwave through my spine, reminding me that my suspension is also begging for help. The app kindly reminds me that it's busy right now, demanding I stay online. While my vision gets slightly blurry, I am sweating through my favorite hoodie, trapped in a metal box, chasing pennies because the alternative is actual eviction. Soon, you really start to question your core life choices. When a corporate robot tells you to work harder while you are dying, I watched a guy in a suit loudly complain about his latte while I actively tried not to pass out standing. We don't get paid time off. We get a flashing red battery icon and a stern warning about our low acceptance rate. Sometimes, I wonder if the restaurant staff actually pities me or if they just desperately want me out of their clean lobby. Waiting for quarterly estimated taxes to hit is like waiting for a painful punch in the face you scheduled months ago. The government really wants their cut of my daily misery, punishing me for not knowing exactly how incredibly poor I will be. My throat is entirely dry right now, but I can't afford the overpriced bottled water at this random gas station anyway. Another notification pops up, a glorious $4 opportunity to drive 15 long miles into the absolute darkest part of town. Knowing it directly hurts my stats, but my brain simply cannot process that level of sheer financial disrespect. Being an independent contractor is honestly just a really fancy way of saying Nobody is coming to save you when things break. You become an absolute master of ignoring warning signs. Both the check engine light and the incredibly heavy pain in your "I parked under a broken street" light. Just to close my eyes for 2 solid minutes, feeling the old engine rumble beneath. It is incredibly quiet in here right now. Just the sound of the falling rain and my own breathing. And it feels lonely. I looked up cheap health insurance on my phone, saw the monthly premium, and laughed until I started coughing violently again. I guess I will just stick to my current medical strategy of eating an orange and aggressively threatening my own immune system. Honestly, the real tragedy here is that this crumbling car is probably getting better overall maintenance than my actual human physical body. A small dog barked at me during the last drop-off, and I seriously considered asking him for a small, personal cash loan. The dog looked at me with deep pity, probably realizing his kibble costs more than my net earnings for the entire day. The app chimes again, loudly, snapping me out of my temporary peace, dragging me right back into the endless cycle of movement. I turn the heat up to the maximum level, pretending I am resting in a luxury sauna. Instead of a freezing sedan, you learn to trick your mind, turning absolute financial desperation into a weird, twisted game of survival just to keep yourself going. 3 more deliveries, and I can afford to buy a cheap bowl of soup, and maybe some decent off-brand throat lozenges tonight. My phone battery is dying, my car is dying, and honestly, I am feeling completely right there with both of them. Right now, every single mile driven tonight feels like a tiny piece of my soul is being permanently left behind on the wet asphalt. They call it the gig economy because modern-day survival mode just didn't sound quite as appealing to the general investing public. I finally turn off the app, staring at a daily total that barely justifies the immense physical damage my body just took. Tomorrow I will wake up and do it all again because the utility bills absolutely do not care about my high fever. It is completely exhausting to live in a world where taking a physical break feels like a direct, immediate threat to your existence. Health shouldn't be a luxury, but out here on the unforgiving road, it is undeniably the most expensive thing you can possibly lose. I'm gonna sleep for 12 hours, assuming the heavy anxiety of not earning anything. Tay actually lets me close my eyes. Anyway, if you also worked through a terrible fever today, drop a comment below so we can share our collective, miserable experience.